Hello beer tubers and welcome to another beer review with me, Peter, the Master of Hobbits. Today checking out some more Czech beer that I got courtesy of Josef. So thanks a ton to Josef. Josef was kind enough to pass along some Czech beers after he went home to the Czech Republic over Christmas. And this one is a lower strength lager called Plavčík. I think that's how you pronounce it. This is only 3.8%, so not very strong. And it's a Czech golden lager, or a Czech Pilsner is what they categorize it online, but apparently if it's not made with like Saaz hops, and there's a lot of regulations to be called like exactly true Czech Pils, just like with many other things like champagne. Like if you make a sparkling wine wherever else, it's not champagne, even though you use the same grapes and whatever. But 3.8%, and apparently he said that this was produced originally during communist times and was at a 3.8% alcohol by volume, so that workers would be allowed to drink it at work. So that's the reason why it's a lower strength lager or pilsner. He's not sure if that's true though, and he says it's all the way back to communist times, and the label also stems back from that time as well. But he says he's not sure how true that is. That's just something he'd been told. And he says it, that label is really old. But if you look it up online on their own website, you find out, first of all, that the brewery is actually owned by Carlsberg, and that this beer is supposed to be served at 7 to 8 degrees. They talk a little bit about what it's pairing well with in terms of food, and then they talk about how it's a little bit non-traditional and more innovative because they use cold hops. So I'm guessing it's like maybe lightly dry hopped or something, or they cold infuse it with hops or something like that, and then they use non-traditional hops besides traditional hops. So I guess the recipe's been changed over time. In terms of ingredients, we've got water, Czech malt, hops, and brewer's yeast. And the hops varieties are Žatecký, which is, I think it's Saaz, and Vital, I've never heard of that before, and Mosaic. So Mosaic, very, very modern hop, and it's got a 31 IBU. I think that was a spelling mistake. But yeah, 31 IBUs. So more of a bitter pills. Let's check it out. So pours a golden yellow color in the glass. It actually looks quite dark on camera, but it is a more of a dark golden yellow. At first, when I just poured it out, I was a bit scared, like, oh, is this going to be oxidized? But I don't think so. I think it's just a slightly more golden colored beer. It also says so on the label. So yeah, let's check out the aroma. Oh, and also a nice frothy white head on there. Let's check out the aroma on this one. Yeah, there's definitely a citrus floral quality that you don't usually get with a lot of classic Czech beers with classic Czech hops, like Saaz, for instance, or Slavic, or something like that. And there's definitely also pepperiness from Saaz. It smells pretty good. It is, and it actually doesn't smell crazy macro. And I love that it's in a brown bottle, so it's not really smelling skunked. There's a bit of sweet bready malt too. It's actually got a decent amount of aroma for a lower strength lager. Mainly like lemony, zesty vibes with some of that kind of classic white pepper aroma. Smells pretty good. Some doughy breadiness too. More than crackery breadiness. Let's try it. Cheers, and thanks a ton to Josef for the beer. That's really refreshing. But it's really light. It's really, really, really light. Like, super light. But it makes sense, it's 3.8%, so you don't have as much malt to give body and everything. It's not necessarily watery, but it's on the edge. And it has a fun, slightly modern touch of hop flavor with Mosaic. It's a slight grapefruity and citrus hop flavor, but it's super light. So it's super well balanced, which is what I like if you use modern hops in classic styles like this. It should be a little bit gentle. Loads of pepper, more black pepper than white pepper on the flavor. A little bit of a grassiness to it as well. And like really doughy bready malt. More so than crackery. Maybe like a toasted cracker actually, because there is like a slight toasted vibe. It's really refreshing, fairly simple pills. It's not something I'm as fired up about as some of the other Czech Pilsners he passed along. I still think, it doesn't have that same level of vibrancy and freshness as those, but it's also a weaker beer. So it makes sense. It's got a nice level of bitterness too. Like, it's not crazy bitter or anything, but it's just a nice soft touch that finishes snappy on the end with that like spiciness and everything. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty good. It's not my all-time favorite Czech Pils. You know, again, I think still the first two ones we had were the best ones. The ones from also smaller breweries. I don't know the size of this brewery. It doesn't really matter either, but they were just better beers. But, you know, this is still pretty good for what it is. And even, you know, Carlsberg owns it. It's still, you know, it's much better than, I'd say, Carlsberg brewed here. Or just like their Danish portfolio. Because this has a bit more character than a lot of them. But there is maybe a touch of that, like, I don't know if it's a macro feel. But it's just, it feels a bit lacking. But I think that's more or less just because of the ABV. I like it. 88, 87, something like that. It's pretty tasty. It's not like something I'm as fired up about as the others, but it's really well made beer. I'd love to drink this again. You know, if I was sitting at a bar in the Czech Republic, I'd drink this. Super refreshing, peppery, crisp. Maybe even close to an 80, maybe more than 88 actually, because it is fairly refreshing for what it is. Yeah, you can smash a few of these. So, if you guys had a chance to try Plavčík by Brewed, Žatec, I think they're called. It's not Brewed because that's in Poland. Žatecký Pivovar, that's the name of the brewery. In Žatec, I think, which is where Saaz is produced, the Saaz hop, I believe. So yeah, if you guys were lucky enough to try this one, let us know what you thought of it, or let me know. And thanks a ton to Josef for the beer, man. You rule. We still got a few to get through, and we'll get through them very soon. So yeah, if you guys had this, let me know. As always, remember to comment, subscribe, check the Facebook fan page and Twitter and Instagram. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and ring the bell for future notifications about videos. And I'm going to say cheers to some pretty refreshing lower strength Pilsner from the Czech Republic, and see you guys in another beer review.